Welcome to the second tutorial about basic Excel skills. If we are working with Excel, it is quite helpful if we know how to handle the data by moving around, selecting cells, sorting data, etc. In this video, we will learn how to move within an Excel sheet, select cells, freeze the top row of a worksheet, use the Autofill feature, sort given data, and apply filters. To move within a worksheet, especially if the data array is bigger, it is helpful to know some of the basic shortcut keys. Let's practice a little bit. For those of you who would like to download the sample data, I will provide a link below. With the arrow keys, we can move one cell up, down, left, or right. By pressing Ctrl and Home, we move to the beginning of the worksheet, while ctrl and end brings us to the last cell in the lower right corner of our worksheet that contains data. Please note that this is not necessarily the last cell of our current array. With Ctrl plus an arrow key, we move to the edge of the current data array. Pressing Home brings us to the beginning of the current row. With Page Down or Page Up, we move up or down one screen. If we press in addition Alt and Page Down or Alt and Page Up, we move one screen to the left or the right. And by pressing Ctrl and Page Up or Ctrl and Page Down, we move to the previous or the next sheet in our workbook. The following table summarizes these shortcut keys. To select data in Excel, we can of course use our mouse. However, once a data array gets bigger, the usage of keyboard shortcuts is generally faster. To select several cells, we can use nearly the same shortcut keys we discussed a moment ago and press Shift in addition. By pressing Shift and arrow keys, we can select several contiguous cells. With Ctrl and Shift and an arrow key, we select data from our current position to the edge of the current data array. Ctrl and A selects all cells of the data array I'm currently located in. If we scroll down through a larger Excel sheet, the header disappears sooner or later. In some cases, it can be handy to keep the header row visible while scrolling through the data. To achieve this, Excel allows us to freeze the first row. Select any cell in the first row, go to the View tab, and from the Window group, select Freeze Panes, Freeze Top Row. The faint line between row 1 and row 2 tells us that the first row is now frozen. To unfreeze the top row again, we select from the Window group Freeze Panes, Unfreeze Panes. Let's assign to every entry in our worksheet a unique ID number, starting with 1 for the first row of data and numbering it continuously for every new row. We enter in cell E1 the header ID and start typing 1 in cell E2 and 2 in cell E3. It would be now a pretty annoying exercise to continue with this until the last row. Luckily, Excel provides with the Autofill feature a very powerful tool to simplify life. To complete our numbering exercise, we select the first two numbers and double-click afterwards the little square in the lower right corner of our selected cells, and instantly the job is done. The Autofill feature does not only work for numbers, but also for nearly each sequence with a constant pattern. Let's go to a new sheet and practice a little bit. If you don't have a second sheet yet in your workbook, simply press the plus sign at the bottom. First, we create an arithmetic sequence with a common difference 3. It is enough to enter the first two terms, and afterwards Excel can take over. Beside numbers, we can use Autofill as well to complete weekdays. Or we can use it for dates. But we can also complete a sequence of labels. Keep in mind that Excel needs at least 2 sample selections to recognize the pattern. Sorting data according to different criteria is an essential part of data analysis. We might want to sort the given data in ascending sequence of the last name, or alternatively in descending sequence of the birth date. To quickly sort our data by last name in ascending order, click in any cell of the last name column. From the Data tab, we select within the Sort and Filter group the command button for ascending sort. In the same way, we can sort for the birth date in descending order. If we want to sort the data on more than one column, we select on the Data tab in the Sort and Filter group, Sort, to display the Sort pop-up window. Here we can specify that we want to sort, for instance, on the last name first and on the first name second. The more data exists in a spreadsheet, the more challenging it can be to find the required content. To display only the cells we're interested in, Excel allows us to filter on the data we're looking for and hide the remaining data temporarily. We enable filters in Excel by clicking somewhere into our data array and by selecting on the Data tab in the Sort and Filter group the Filter button. To filter on all women in our table, we click the arrow next to the gender header and uncheck the male box. Click OK and the data is filtered. To clear the filter, we click the Clear Filter button. Let's apply 2 more filters. First, we search for a specific person in our table by filtering on the first name. We can now either scroll through the list of first names until we find the name we are looking for, or we type the name into the search box. With every letter we type, the number of possible matches decreases. As soon as we've found the desired name, we press OK and the corresponding result is displayed. Next, we look for all persons who are born in September of the year 2000. We click the filter arrow in the birthday column and deselect all years first. Then we scroll to the year 2000, expand the tree, select September and press OK. There we are. By selecting Date Filters in the drop-down list, we have some additional options. For example, we can easily select all persons born in April, irrespective of the year. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.